Hi there, this is Dior Mijos, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about some teaching methodologies. Um, I would say the most common ones nowadays. Okay, the first one we have task-based learning. Second, content and language integrated learning. Next, project-based learning. Then we have flipped classroom. Last but not least, we have blended learning. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain to you with a task, how can you implement these different methodologies during a class, okay? And also I'm going to explain to you the description of the activity as well as how the principles are related to them, okay? So let's get started. First thing first, we have task-based learning. This is a good methodology. I'm going to explain to you the activity. For example, the title of the task is Planning and Dream Vacations. Okay, what are the learning objectives of this activity? First of all, we have used the future tense, yeah, because it's a dream vacation. We're going to use will or going to. And of course, I'm going to teach you a little bit about travel vocabulary, okay? Then the next objective, we have practice negotiation and description making skills, decision making skills, which is good in order to decide which place to go, what are you going to do, how many days are going to stay, etc. Okay. And finally, we have improve speaking fluency and collaborative skills. This is very good in order, for you to become better in the English language. Okay, let's continue. So this is the a description of the task. Okay, in the pre-task, we as teacher can introduce travel-related vocabulary, and I have written down some examples: accommodation, budget, itinerary, something like that. Okay, so in order to do that, we can watch a short travel blogs as a model, so they can see the video and try to write it down some vocabulary that might be a little bit complicated for them. Okay, then during the task, we're gonna do in small groups. Students are assigned a budget and asked to plan a 1 week vacation. As I said at the beginning, this is a dream vacation, so that is why they're going to stay there for 1 week. They must research destinations, accommodations, transport, and activities. All right. And also, they're going to prepare a presentation like to sell their vacation plans to the class. So as I said, we're going to set up the activity in groups, and different groups in the end, they're going to present the activity. All right. And they're going to like sell their vacation to see which is the best or something like that. In the post task, we have we have students present their vacation plan, classmates vote on the most interesting one, yeah. As I said, they're gonna vote. They're gonna say, okay, that group is better because that's my favorite city, my favorite culture, whatever. They have to vote. So, what materials are being used? Of course, internet access, worksheets, budget planner, a template, for them to follow. It's not complicated. And in order to work this activity, we can do it by group work, and also we're gonna do like peer feedback and whole class. Okay. Let's continue. So how this activity is connected to the methodology's principles. Okay. First of all, it promotes real world communication, which is one of the main principles of this methodology. Okay. Learners focus on meaning before form and use language as a tool for problem solving and making decision, reflecting authentic use of English. All right. So this is all about task-based learning methodology. I hope you got it. And now I'm going to continue with the next method. Okay. So the next method is content, language, and integrated learning. Okay. If for In order to work with this methodology, I'm gonna tell you the title of the task, which is Understanding Climate Change Through Science. This is like for intermediate learners, level. And the objectives are acquire science content knowledge about the greenhouse effects. So as you can see here, we have some scientific vocabulary. Develop language skills related to cause effect, passive voice, and academic vocabulary, because it's a science topic. So we're not going to read like something related to stories or something like that, but this is something scientific, okay? Let's continue. I'm going to explain to you the activity, okay? So first of all, in order to work with this method, which is called also CLEAL, all right, introduce key scientific vocabulary through visual. So visual is quite important here because it might be for students the first time they are look at it, this kind of vocabulary, okay? And also we can watch an experiment video demonstrating the greenhouse effect. So how greenhouse effect works or something like that. Students complete a graphic organizer to identify causes and effects, all right? And also in groups, they write a brief scientific explanation and present it using passive structure. So this is quite important because we need to, as teachers, we need to be like looking at how students use the passive voice, if they use correctly or not. Okay. In the end, we can also give you some feedback to them. Use a quiz game like Kahoot, Wordwall, or any digital platform that you can use to review, especially the concept, okay? So the materials for this activity would be like experiments video, as I said before, graphic organizer in order to write the cause and effect concept, vocabulary handouts could be like quizzes, and a quiz tool as well. So for the interaction pattern, we have like individual note taking, because as they watch the video, they might be taking some notes. The group writing, because they need to elaborate the graphic organizer. And finally, the oral presentation as well, okay? And how this activity meets the principle? Well, as I said before, CLEAR integrates language learning with academic content. So not only does the student learn English, but also learn any other content, all right? This task promotes cognitive engagement and uses scaffolding strategies. Of course, scaffolding, like as you can see in this picture, try to help one another. So if the student is a little bit better, so that the student can help the lower ones, okay, in order to reach the objective. It supports both language acquisition and subject knowledge, which is, I mean, the main principle here, right? Not only learn English, but also different content, which is great because by doing that, students can reach the proficiency of the level in English, okay? All right, very good. This was clear. Now let's continue with the next one. Now we have project-based learning, which is commonly applied in different schools here in Ecuador. And now we have, for example, title of the tasks. What is the title? Creating a digital magazine. So now I brought this activity like, in order to include a little bit about technology, which is now trend in the teaching learning process. All right. So here we have the learning objectives. Develop writing, and digital literacy skills. Yep. Use various genres like articles, interviews, and opinion pieces. Okay. Enhance collaboration, planning, and creativity. So this method is basically um, in order to make this methodology work, we need to make them students work in groups, okay? Because it's a project. A project could be well done in groups, right? Sometimes. All right, now we have here detail the description of the activity. First of all, class is divided into editorial teams, I would say, like writers, editors, and designers, because they need to design a digital magazine. So they have to not only think about the content, what they are going to write or something like that, but also try to be creative with the design, a beautiful design in order to make like more interesting. Each team decides a magazine theme. Yeah, it could be music, sport, fashion, any topic that is trend for them, okay? Design the magazine using online tools. Of course, they can use Canva, PowerPoint, Prezi, any kind of digital platform in order to create, okay? And finally present and distribute the final product digitally. Yep, they have to share by email, upload it into any platform like EVA, etc. Okay. What are the materials? Computers, writing guides, graphic design tools. Okay. And what is the interaction partner here? We can have like long-term group collaboration, as I said before. Collaboration is crucial here. Peer feedback, whole class publishing in the end. Okay. So this is the basically about this amazing method. And now let's continue with the next one, please. Now I'm going to explain how uh, this task is meeting the principles methodology or the methodologies principles. Okay, this task encourages inquiry, autonomy, and authentic output, which is the hallmarks of project-based learning. Okay. It also integrates critical thinking, problem solving, and student-driven content creation. This is quite amazing, right? Problem solving, because this method not only prepares a student for the class, but also for their whole life in the future when they are professionals, right? All right, let's continue. Next one, we have flipped classroom, which is very common, I think, after pandemic, right? Or maybe before, but this is now it's a trend. Okay, title of the task. What is the title? Mastering reporter speech, which is I would say an advanced grammar. Hence, that the students need to master this grammar topic. I would say. Okay, what are the learning objectives? Understand and correctly use reporter speech, enhance speaking and listening skills through real life applications. All right. So let's continue. So I'm going to explain to you the description of the activity. Okay. Before class, what are they going to do? Students watch a video lesson on reported speech and complete a self-check quiz. Okay. That's basically what are they going to do before the class. While they are in the class in pairs, students add out a dialogue, example, an interview, then report what their partner said. All right. So in order to report something, of course, they need to use reported speech. My friend said that, blah, 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 or any any person that who has said before. Okay. During the class or later, in the end, I would say groups write new style report based on their dialogues. Okay, they have to write a report. Okay, in this dialogue, I found out this information, blah, 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 blah. And finally, peer feedback and error correction follow. Okay, we need to make like different groups that, okay, you're gonna listen to your friends' groups and try to see any mistakes, any error, peer feedback. And what are the materials used? Instructional video, as I said, show them a video, quiz, dialogue, script. We can help students with some dialogue script and report templates, how they are going to write their final report, okay? So how it's going to be the interaction, could be individual, pre-class, pair and group work in class, okay? And now how this activity meets the principles of the methodology. This allows students to process grammar input at home and use class time for application and practice. So this method basically is used when this is more for students independent learning, right? Because they have already been working at home this grammar topic, which is passive voice, and they have practice, they have review, and after that they come to class, and try to present, try to show their teacher what they've learned. All right. And also it maximizes classroom interaction and support personalized learning pace. Okay. So it depends on the students. If they want to finish quickly, they can work on different platforms like very fast in order to finish, or maybe day by day. It depends on the learner. How can they distribute their time, right? Now we have this different methodology, which is blended learning. Okay, what is the title of the task? Everyday English with technology. All right. So, what are the objectives? Improve vocabulary and listening skills through multimedia, enhance writing and speaking through online forums or live discussions. Yeah, this is basically when students have a platform and they have to work on it. Yep. Now, I'm going to explain how the task is going to be done. Students use a learning platform, could be Eva, Google Classroom, or any other platform, right, to watch video clips of real life situations and complete vocabulary exercise. So what they are, while they're watching the videos, they can complete short, quizzes or short vocabulary exercises. Yeah. uh, in person, discuss scenarios in class and create their own skit online. So this is when you have classes face to face. Yeah. Online would be students submit a written summary and comment on peers' post. This is kind of interaction because they might be reading or they're gonna read their partners and comments, and later on they need to write another comment. I would say they read the student's activity and they have to comment on it, right? And what are the materials? Learning management system, multimedia resources, because we most of the time work with platforms. Okay. How would be the interaction here? Online self-paced, in-person collaborative, online written exchange, because they're going to be exchanging ideas. Okay, how this activity, this task meets the principle? Well, blended learning merges the flexibility of online education with the engagement of face-to-face interaction. This is like, combines both scenarios, online, on-site, okay? Well, here also emphasizes learners' autonomy, multimodal input, and personalized learning path. All right. This is about blended learning. This is like a combination, while in the flipped classroom before, it's only students work autonomously, independent. All right, so yeah, that's all about this different methodologies. I hope you understand something and you can also apply to your different um, class. And thank you so much for your attention.